Make sure everything is in condition. Yep. Alright, as I said last time, let's continue with the Omori. Because I know it's going to. I'll make this a bit shorter because technically the prior stream was already supposed to be an extension of this, but things happened. I kind of just set it back there, so we'll we'll continue this time. So let's boot up the game. Go live. We've got nighttime stuff to do. Yeah. I don't think I have anything I need to put away. Think we're good. Maybe. Gotta make an absolute certainty of that. Right. Let's go in. Hey, Freddy! Thanks for hanging out with me today. Sorry for all the trouble. That was a pretty crazy adventure, huh? Tell you I haven't talked to anyone in a while. That's okay. It just takes practice. Anyway, Hero's coming back from college tomorrow, so I'm sure he'll want to see you before you leave. If you don't mind, I'll be coming back for you again in the morning. Good night, Freddy. Sweet dreams! Oh. A lot of spiders. Just take it nice and easy. What's the worst that can happen? Something's there. What's up? Mind cells, I know that's the same. Getting nowhere fast, huh, Freddy? Seems like there's a lot going on. Block out the little things. Figure out what's important. Clear your mind and remember how to focus. Go ahead and say. Hmm. Side. Right. And just sleep. Sure, there's nothing going on here. Go to sleep after a long day. Meow. What is interesting is that you could actually leave prematurely. Sometimes when you get up early, scenes could happen. Kind of things? Who knows? It's all up to chance. Something is there. Now it's not there. Just empty, just like my soul. But let's just keep going. Got a long journey ahead of us. Open sesame! Omori, welcome back. Hero, I told you not to worry. Omori always shows up when we need him. Is everything okay, Omori? We're worried about you. Now that you're here, let's go out and look for Basil. He's counting on us. Be patient, Kel. You have to make sure that Omori's okay first. Maybe you and Hero can go yourselves. Come on, Omori, let's go exploring together. Just two of us. You can't leave us out of this. You're right, Obby, we have to do this together, as a team. No one will need someone's help. Stronger than we work together. Omori and I will be fine on our own. You'll protect me, won't you, Omori? Ew, gross. Get a room. Come on, Abby, it's time to get serious now. We'll tell Mari that Omori is okay. You know she's always worrying about him. Okay, fine. Just trying to have a little fun. Onward! Give me them clams. Hi, Mari, look! Mori's here! Mori! Stop disappearing like that. You know my heart can't take it. So there's still no sign of Basil? Could he be? Who knows? We're not sure. Looking for him everywhere and still nothing. I hope Basil is okay. I miss him so much. Yeah, I miss hearing him talk about all the stuff he's into. Like all the flower stuff, photo stuff, the art stuff, the reading stuff. My hair is so tangly. I miss when Basil used to brush my hair. Mori, will you brush it for me? Well, I miss when Basil used to remind me to wash my hands. Look, so dirty. Ew, Kel. Kel, you should probably wash your hands anyways. Everyone, I know it's tough right now, but we have to stay positive. We should all try to be like Basil. Even when Basil is upset, he always manages to smile. So is there anywhere you haven't checked yet? Well, there's a forest west of Stumpfront. It's gross and full of spiders. Spiders. Well, you know what that means. Once again, it's time to face your fears, little brother. That means you too, Hero. Come on, big bro, you can't back out now. It's just like how it is with Omori. We're here to support you all the way. Yeah, you're right. I'm just being silly. Don't worry, guys. If anyone or anything tries to hurt you, I'll smash it out of the way. Count on it. Don't forget about me. I'll always be there to help too. Yeah. Do this together. Let's go to the forest west of the stump. Lead the way, Omori. Well, I got things I want to do first, so we'll take care of those. Use your flower puzzle. A Daisy from Daisy. As an equipable. Where starts happy in battle. That's gonna be useful for something later on. Not right now. It's supposed to be a mod that changes these guys' names to like the names of the people you meet in the real world, but it's like it hasn't happened. Let me check really quick. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Oh, is that on now? There we go. Or maybe it's just something different. I don't know. Let's just keep going. Yeah, we're out there looking for him. Don't worry. What's up? Hey Van, come over here. Oh, you want something, Burly? Yeah, stand right here and look that way. Okie dokies. Aubrey, come here. What do you want now, Burly? Aubrey. Aubrey. With that sassy tone. Come on, we're best friends. Now, you see that big guy over there? I know who Van is. Great. Go on and give him a good whacking for me. What? Why? What if he gets hurt? Always with the questions. Can't you just do something without thinking for once? Go on, smash. Right. Oh. Oh, no, not that.
Yeah.
Okay, there I did it. Now, do it again. Do it until I say stop. Okay, but what am I doing exactly? No questions. Only smash. Getting somewhere, I think. Come on, you can do it. Stamina, stamina. Oh, I don't have to keep doing this. So let's say stop. Don't slow down now. Help! My arms feel like noodles. Keep pushing, you're almost there. I think I'm gonna pass out. Please, just one more smash! Aubrey gained 50 juice. What was that all about? Nothing really. He was just bored. Honestly, pretty boring too. What? That's all? Hey, at least got something out of it. I'm still bored here. Come on, man. Play some tetherball. I just don't get Burly at all. she's out of juice. Also, what's up, BK? Oh yeah, Van Archive. How you been? How you doing? Hopefully you can hear my voice. Got to test it before I started stream. Hopefully it went through. What else am I doing? Oh, I can't go down here. Actually, I have to go to the do the stupid stuff thing. All right, let's go. Yep, you're just fine. I'm good. Just go offer myself. That's good to hear. Take it nice and easy, man. Here's some Omori to get your mind off of Notre Dame too. Well, boy, I've been waiting so long for this event. It is a delightful day indeed. Yes, yes. At last, our glorious princess sweetheart will finally make her appearance. My oh my. Hardly contain my excitement. You're doing well today after Hunchback of Notre Slop too. Yeah, I am. My sister had to make a run to my grandma because she got hurt at some point, so I had to watch. I had to watch the nephews and niece for a bit. But my brother-in-law came back home, so I had time to do this and other things. I'm wishing my grandma the best. Show is sure to be the most electrifying. Dear, oh dear, we must hurry. 4 front row show tickets right here. We're in for the time of our lives and must not be late. Now, which way do we go again? Sucks to be you guys. Boom. Way to go, Avi. You're doing good. Hey, cool, these Sprout Moles dropped some tickets. Let me see. Oh, they're front row tickets for some kind of show? Featuring Sweetheart? Wasn't that Captain Spaceboy's ex-girlfriend? Yeah, it looks like some sort of contest or something. If you haven't applied to buy, we should stop and watch. You have front row show tickets after all. Well, alright. We can drop by if we come across it. Maybe. Let's take care of this before we start exploring the place. Ready to do this, Omori? Right here if you need us. Right, Hero? Huh? Yeah, of course. No longer afraid of spiders. Yeah! Omori, thanks for taking one for the team. You're welcome, Hero. Let's just go and, go back to Vast Forest, because I gotta go do things and all that good stuff. We got flowers. Shit. Do it. Well, one health boost may not seem that important, but who knows? I could be in a situation where it comes clutch. I don't know. I think that's everything I wanted to do. Well, let's go ahead and just keep going. We'll come back to Vast Forest in a bit. Wait. Let me check something. No, I guess we can go to Vast Forest. I want to see if it's open yet or not. But if I remember right, it's gonna open up. It's gonna open up when we go to like when we actually complete this part of the game. Oh no, it is open. That's awesome. Cool. We can actually check it out. What's up, guy? Hello, fellow bunny hater. I see you killed 26 bunnies. Splendid! See you destroyed more bunnies. 26 bunnies obliterated. Thank you, fellow bunny hater. Go and destroy more bunnies! I'm on it. What we got here? Speed boost? We can give that to Kel. Right. Grab these items and then let's hop on the train. I'm sure nothing bad's gonna happen. Wait, no. We'll come back to the train later because I just remembered. A specific detail only happens if you attain an ability for Omori later on, but that detail goes away the moment you actually get to like the moment you get to the library. So when I get the chance, I'll go back and check out the Orange Oasis before we go into the library. So let's head on through. Place is foggy. Dude, it's just like Persona 4 or something. Ugh. Second thought, let's go look for Basil somewhere else. This place gives me like heebie-jeebies. What is such a baby, Kel? There's just some spider webs here and there. Ah! There's a spider in your hair! What? Where? Get off! Haha, just kidding. Look who's the scary one now. It's not very funny, Kel. Persona 4 is sliding and I'll choose your fandom to summon. Pretty much. Said this way. There's a joke book here. Pick it up. You can hold on to that there joke book until it's relevant.
Yeah.
Alright, I need to talk to that guy in Orange Oasis about that. So I can't do anything with the faces yet. But I'll be back soon. Yeah, I forgot about the voice lines. Yeah, that's part of the mod. I forgot it was there too. I could take the trolley, but not a lazy bastard and I can just walk by myself. Bug Bunny, that's funny. Get him! Fun fact, the normal battle team that plays in Vast in this forest was originally gonna be the boss team for Kite Kid. But I don't know what happened. They just changed it to like the normal battle team for this forest, and then they gave Kite Kid a different boss team instead. But that was the original intention. See you there, item. Said this way. I love the forest battle theme. I love it too, it's awesome. I have it in my playlist. What to read? What to read? I've read every book on this shelf over 20 times already. Only I had something more interesting to read. I got you, fam. Matchbox? Alright, I'll be back then. There's like a specific bunny we want to fight for a specific requirement. Let's just get rid of this. Here, eat this delicious hot smo. Oh wait, no, it's not a bunny, it's this guy. The upside down sprout ball. I mean, I say important, but I'm not on Omori route, so it's not like I can actually get to the treatment here. But still. This. That. Fight this guy. That's an angry bunny. I'm trying to remember something. No. Oh, okay then. Alright, I see how it is. Let me see here. Way to go, Abby. That's the nature of this entire scene. Let's just heal up. Let's head over this way, shall we? First, Thanks for that. Now we head this way. Can't find a teddy bear anywhere. Last time I had him, I'm pretty sure I was wandering through a big pink castle. You ever find him? Can you return him to me? I bet he's really lonely. Oh, I bet. It's gonna be hell. Got what I needed. There we go. This place is really overgrown, isn't it? You're all so brave for going through this forest. Even an old mine cart running through here. I wonder what it's used for. Mining, probably. I don't know. How are you handling your fear of spiders, hero? Breathe in. Breathe out. Doing great, hero. Keep at it. In. Breathe out. Omori used to be scared of spiders too, but look at him now. Not even a flinch. Look how brave he's being. Wow. So brave. Yeah, so brave. Yeah. Let's keep going. You want to grab that, but I also want that item over there. Alright, take me away. Oh, I saw that. Cat ears? What do we got? Transform speed 10. That would have been good for Kel, but he already has bunny ears, which is a bit faster. Wanna grab this. I am Mush, and my lifelong dream has always been to be eaten and enjoyed. Yeah, sure. Okie dokie. Can't wait to be eaten. Makes a friend slightly stronger. I could just not eat them and just keep them in my pocket for the entire journey. That'd be funny. I'm not gonna interact with the bear, but it won't matter because I'm gonna have to interact with one later on anyways. So, can't run from it forever. We can go this way though. The Mios are weird as hell. Go, guys. Bowtail? Oh, that's better. Here, Kel, you can have this. Gotta get Kel's drag going, you know? Or at least as much of it as we can possibly do in this situation. Nerfed Kel's drives give me a respawn over at least 5 wars. Oh, it's dumb. Huh. Magical bean. There is a what the fuck value that occurs. I don't know if it's here or like a part up ahead. There, off frame from where I'm standing or from like the camera perspective I'm in, there will be a hanging body shadow type thing in the corner. I think it's like the top right corner. It'll be there for as long as you're in the room, and then will vanish the moment you see it. Also, I didn't even notice what I picked up. Probably like some thing here. Oh yeah, magical bee. Sorry, it's random. But yeah, that's what the bug value you can see if you wanted to. Welcome to the Lost Forest, where you find things you never knew were lost in the first place. Or perhaps they're forgotten for a reason. I suppose we all hold secrets. No matter how lost or how deep down we bury them, they find their way to the other side. So, the way to get through the forest is pretty easy. Just go wherever there's enemies sitting in like the spot. Like this rabbit here. You go down the path where the rabbit is, it will always be the correct path. Can I get bread slice going? Probably. Yeah. Trying to lose yourself? Or have you accomplished that already? Either way is the right place for you. Perhaps that's why you've come here to finish the job. is this? A corral? Usually we tend to do things we want, as opposed to things we say we do. I've never been one for wants. I'm more of a need kind of person. I suggest you look for the exit before your needs become more apparent. You're still here? You're giving up, or you fully embrace your fate? Confession, perhaps, but I'm not the one to tell. Food. That might be good. Let's see. Go down here, I believe. Yeah. There's a boy wandering around here before, very similar to you. He went into the darkness and never came out. How regretful it must have been to never find what he was looking for. Be it regret, defeat, or confusion, no one will know. I've seen lost and I've seen blind, but the combination is unsettling. Perhaps you're hiding away from the right way? Perhaps. You've reached the end of the Lost Forest, but the beginning of the truth. I'll tell you a story that's been lost through time. A story about the creation of this reality. In the beginning, there only existed two. Dreamer and his room. The dreamer grew weary of his room and created a door that led to many different worlds. Walking the path as a visitor to these worlds, the dreamer would come and go as he pleased. Slips and falls, tumbles and drops. Dreamer's curiosity and clumsy exploration eventually led him to a certain world. One not like the others. One painted with chaos and bathed in darkness. Dreamer slowly became filled with dread. Quiet as they may have been, words of malice quietly crept into his mind. Whispers, whispering lies, secrets, and truths. Powerless to silence the noise, the dreamer manifested benevolent entities in different worlds. Then he compounded his world above the dark realm, sealing it with their combined might. Yet despite his valiant efforts, the darkness presence never abated. Even with new allies, the darkness continues to scrape and scratch the back of the dreamer's mind. The noise might have subsided, but it never went away. The dreamer could run and bury away his fears, but one still has to face his own reflection. What the dreamer had created was something he could not be a part of, something outside himself. Dreamer's own power was his greatest adversary. Knowledge, or the absence of it, would become the dreamer's greatest gift. To truly escape the perils of his own faculty and ascend to a blissful state of ignorance, only then would the noise cease to agitate the dreamer's sanity. So, the dreamer took on another name, and chose to forget himself. From that time on, Dreamer had lived amongst us, simply as an inhabitant of the world, traveling along blissfully ignorant of his own fabrications. Children, I must warn you, as with all things that are born in and out of this world, an end will threaten this one too. Though the dreamer may have subdued the inexorable, the darkness grows still. No bandage can stifle an external wound. There will be a time when its influence will bleed through. Forgetful the dreamer may be of his peril, peril never forgets to be. At the end of this world may be inevitability. Dreamer is the only one with the ability that can truly set this world free. H. Oh yeah, so like over here, this specific spot. Not like where I'm standing, but a little bit ahead of me. If your what the fuck value is high enough, the hanging body would be right there. But when you walk up to it, it'll vanish in a few frames. So you don't get that much time to actually look at it, but it is there. But let's get out of this place. It's giving me the creeps. Alright, back to normal. Stupid pot. Actually, let's just get out of here. Except I can't because he needs to get out of the way. That's kind of obnoxious. Let's get rid of it. Awesome. Put this board down. And let's go for a ride. Big old castle awaits us. Let's go take a peek at it, shall we? Basil, you here? Basil! Where are you? Don't look like Basil is here either. Hey, look, it's Mari! 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 Hello, everyone. You all made it through the forest. So proud of you. Mari, I was so scared. Hero, it's kind of embarrassing. Times like these, I really wish Basil was here. We tell Hero about how spiders are harmless and good for nature or something. Read it anyway and find him so creepy. I'm not sure if that would help him right now. Oh, Hero. You're gonna have to deal with this eventually. These things will only get worse over time. Maybe. Or maybe I'll naturally outgrow it. You never know what the future brings. Where's a lot scarier than the one near the playground. And a lot older, too. Does have a mysterious air about it, doesn't it? I heard there used to be a huge library filled with books here. Since no one took care of it, over time the library slowly sank to the ground. Don't do that, Mari. Oh, just some shadows here and there. Focus, you can see them too. Whatever. Reading is boring. Who wants to read anyways? Where's the library now, Mari? Well, if I were to guess, I'd say it would be right beneath us. Like, underground? Yeah, somewhere around here probably. Kel is truly the gun and ball gamer type. Do I have like an item to make somebody mad? Yeah, that'll work. All right. Let's see how well Diet Kelstrad can do against this guy. Try to do it as few turns as possible. There is a specific Sprommel that does say something if you talk to it. Turn back. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's do this. Or rather, how do I want to approach this? Flex, then a coffee on Kel. Oh, I didn't keep like her sting to make him happy. Put that on. Put that on Kel. And we're gonna make the Spider mad. Spider, it's more like a centipede. Alright, let's see how much this does. Oh snap! The big one. I love it. It's not even like full Kelstrata. It's not even like the full amount, but 1700 damage. That's pretty good. It's certainly more than enough to beat the boss in one hit. Alright. What am I thinking? Let's change up Obby's skills. We're gonna do Team Spirit, Power Hit, Counter, I guess, and then Headbutt. Do Rebound, so we have the AoE. Fast food. Fine. Do we really need Charm? Not really. Attack time. smile, and massage. For the sweetheart fight, we're gonna need something relating to happy status, so what do we got? Nothing yet, but Omori will learn a skill that will help me out a bit later on. This will do. Alright, let's go back and heal. And then, I'm gonna go use the bathroom really quick. And given that this is an extension of my prior stream, I could do the intermission. I have something in mind for the intermission that's different from DSP, so look forward to that. Alright, we're gonna put this on hold for now. Then we're gonna... Or I'm gonna go use the bathroom and then I'll be right back. We're gonna watch an intermission video. Look forward to it! I know I am. Yeah, it's hot outside. All right. Let's go ahead and get that video going. Give me a second. All right. I'm back with the video. Let's go ahead and put it on. All right, I talked about this before. So you guys are like, so at least PK, you have an idea of what I was gonna do. So here it is. Could probably watch this off stream, but nah. I figure we might as well just do it now. Welcome back to Sequelitis Omori. Pretend there is a prequel like fucking her about. Oh jeez. Alright. Christ, 12 years ago. Yeah, it's insane how far we've come. This was his 17th animated atrocity video too. That's insane. But let's see. Was he right 12 years ago? Or about like this movie, or is his opinions a bit warped? Let's find out.
Everyone who likes animation likes Disney movies. Not necessarily all of them, and a few of them are in my future lineup.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. Um, when we do the Disney marathon, I am so looking forward to. I'm so looking forward to Home on the Range, Dinosaur, Chicken Little, Black Cauldron will be a first time experience for me. Oh man, the Chicken Little tease somehow. But We'll get to those movies when we get to it. Let me just check something over here. His review of that was one of his most iconic. Yeah. Man. I mean, he wasn't wrong. He's not wrong. Still isn't.
But definitely a good chunk of them. Hell, some people who aren't
It's like watching the Mona Lisa being on his sketching stage.
into animation like Disney movies. And we've always got our favorite. For some it's Beauty and the Beast, for some it's The Lion King, for some it's Fantasia, but for me it's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, often known as the darkest of the Disney franchise for bringing up things like
If I remember right, his early animated atrocities were edited by himself. Like he didn't start hiring editors until later down the line. And I don't know if this video was edited by him or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But yeah.
attempted genocide and sexuality, it certainly does not talk down to its audience. Mostly. It has an amazing soundtrack and stunning animation. Good thing that there's absolutely none of that in the sequel. The ones I've seen, it's The Lion King 2, Aladdin 3, and you're not going to believe this, but Lilo and Stitch 2. You can watch the
Um. Okay, so like he says that there have been 30 movie releases for like direct to video films, and we haven't gotten to the Lilo and Stitch one, but we have seen King of Thieves and Lion King 2. And yeah, we we've both agreed that like they're watchable movies. They're not like up there with Disney's mainline works, obviously, but like they are serviceable, enjoyable films. Um, that said, I will still give Cinderella 2 the pass because it at least took something pretty basic on it at its core and actually did something with it, unlike a lot of the other ones we've seen so far. And later on down the year, we will watch Cinderella 3, which I am still hyping up as like the best thing in the lineup, so we'll get to that too. And I don't know, I still think Extremely Goofy Movie is a good film. Like it's a watchable movie. I don't think like you should throw it under the bus with everyone else. And I said that like Lion King 1.5 is like it could either be the most enjoyable thing for you or not, depending on whether you vibe with the humor, because that's pretty much what it amounts to. Everything else, though, yeah, I do agree. It's not worth it. No one's using that shit these days. Seeing all those, I get the reference. But yeah, you're right. No Lilo and Stitch. They're like mid-tier movies for the most part. Extremely Goofy movies, my favorite so far for sure. Not amazing, but solid. Yeah.
Nostalgia Chick's top 10 worst Disney sequels if you really want more information on this. On it, she put The Hunchback of
I don't know. Maybe. Wait. Who was it that he recommended?
Notre Dame top 10 worst Disney Aladdin 3, and you're not going to believe this, but Lilo and Stitch 2. You can watch the Nostalgia Chick's top 10 worst Disney sequels.
Oh, jeez, the nostalgia chick. I don't know if I really want to watch that video, knowing like everything that went down with Channel Awesome. Nostalgia chick, wow, the blast of the past. Exactly. I'm pretty sure most people just only recognize Nostalgia Critic and no, mostly just Nostalgia Critic. Maybe there's a few people who say like Linkara stuff, but like it's mostly Nostalgia Critic. Old that guy with the glasses, yeah.
If you really want more information on this.
That shit
On
goes
it, she
deep.
put The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2 at number
Like old Drew Wariovic, yeah. Oh man, the Channel Awesome iceberg is definitely one that exists.
4. I really can't believe that there are 3 Disney sequels worse than this one. However, I want to prove that this movie fails hard on its own merits, so I won't compare it to things like The
Wait, I'm gonna go back really quick.
You can watch the Nostalgia Chick's top 10 worst Disney sequels if you really want more information on this. 4. I really can't believe that there are 3 Disney sequels worse than this one. However, I want to
Okay, so Nostalgia Chick put this movie as number 4 of the worst movies of all time. And like that's kind of a hard bar because this movie's like the worst thing of all time so far, based on what we've seen. Um, I don't know, like maybe if you put Belle's Magical World as like top three, I can see that. I can see the reasoning behind it. Um, I can't. I'm drawing a blank of what the other two could be because like I don't think anything else really reaches those two in terms of bottom barrel quality. Vlad's vid was like a PS Vita review if you want to date it. Wonder if Belle's Magical World was up there. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll check it out after this, just because I'm now morbidly curious about how she does the list. But like, it's gonna be weird because I've never actually watched Nostalgia Chick's content. I just know who she is, and I don't really like her as much because of what I've learned about her. Little Mermaid 2 was also pretty shit, but those two are next level ass. I am Tula Mao. I assume it's archived. Yeah, we'll look for it on the YouTube rabbit hole. It's not gonna be that hard, I'm sure.
Prove that this movie fails hard on its own merits, so I won't compare it to things like the grandeur of the original. I'll only compare it to the original if there are things like continuity errors, because this thing's mere existence is an insult to the original.
I do appreciate him judging the movie on its own merits instead of doing the comparison thing. Granted, like, I did do that a lot for our watch along, and to be honest, it is well deserved because this thing should not exist at all. But even if you break it down on its own, it's like the worst of the lineup we have for the sequel flops. Because there is nothing to take away from it on its own. It's the most, not even the most boring story ever, it's the most soul draining one. To be fair, it's still a very Mickey lame ass plot on its own. It sucks no matter what. Yeah, there's nothing redeemable with this thing, whether you isolate it from the first movie or not.
Just like the first movie, this one starts out with its best song.
Thanks, ads. I love you. Even if I didn't see the OG right before, yeah. I'm still glad that you did watch the OG before watching this one, because it is definitely like a very night and day situation, and you had to have seen it to like really have the feeling of how bad it really got. No Hellfire Mogs, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Is an insult to the original. Just like the first movie, this one starts out
The first song goes hard too. Yeah. He's right, the music kicks ass.
with its best song. I thought that the Festival of Fools is your favorite holiday, not some Valentine's knockoff.
That is true. It's kind of weird for them to celebrate this as their favorite when, like, the Festival of Fools was, like, the biggest thing that they did in the last movie. But again, they need to, like, tell you that this event is definitely important in the world building. It's not, like, something they just invented out of their ass or anything. I think it looks worse because the entire animation is god awful. Every character looks ass. Yeah.
Gather two by two.
Oh, looks like there's someone for everyone.
Oh great, the gargoyles are back. Even fans of the first movie will admit that the gargoyles were the weakest part of it. It's a good thing that they're
Especially Hugo. Yeah. Yeah, I've already talked about why the gargoyles exist and like their relevance with the first movie and such. I still appreciate that they try to incorporate them into the movie to make them feel a bit more natural to the environments, but like you really could just do without them and get a better experience of the film. But I also know that it wouldn't be able to be marketed to kids if it wasn't for that fact.
roles have been up to the nth degree, and they're even more obnoxious this time around.
Take that back.
No.
Take that.
Also, in the first movie, it was pretty ambiguous whether or not they were real. I can only imagine whoever made this thing was shit-faced beyond all belief, and not wanting to admit it, came up with this stupid dumbass festival. Quasimodo, of course.
Yeah, he's right. I went into a bit more detailing about that in the watch along, but like you can't. This bell will not function the way it does with all those gemstones and such. It just won't. It's unrealistic. And the fact that they actually play it at the end of the movie with the same bell chimes that the others do, is just another thing that's just wrong about it. Like another layer of bad on top of this movie. That's a good theory. I choose to believe it's canon. Yup.
Doesn't have a girlfriend because This movie wants to have some kind of purpose. A lot of people were kind of disappointed that he didn't get the girl in the first one. What they didn't seem to realize was that him being alive at the end was a net gain from the actual book. So in order to state some people I don't understand, Gah! What the fuck is that? Why does normal Quasi
Yeah, I didn't bring it up, but like his normal quasi face just looks wrong. Like it's uncanny wrong. Also, yeah, people were upset about the ending of the last one. Um, it's not even just that like the ending of the first movie comparative to like the ending of the book is different enough. But like I think the way in which they chose to end the whole climax and the ending of the last movie just really works well for what it was trying to tell. I think him getting Esmeralda at the end would have muddled things a bit. I think that was like the better path you could have taken with Quasimodo. But people were upset about it, so they made a sequel to help him get a girlfriend. So yeah, congrats guys.
look worse than deformed Quasi? As Zephyr is excited to announce, the circus has come to Paris. Here we meet our villain, Sharouche, the ringleader. Because he's so vain, he's like sexually attracted to himself. It's really awkward. We cut to Quasi and the gargoyles cleaning the bells when Madeline goes up.
Um I guess I could point this out. So later on in Mr. Renner's career, he made a video expressing like how he didn't like well, like one of the issues he had with reviewing animated atrocity stuff is that um when he keeps reviewing the same things over and over again, he gets into the problem where he eventually starts running out of things to say, and he has to come up with like different inventive means of making a video enticing. But another issue that came up was how the way in which he approaches animated atrocity stuff is something he didn't really like that much in retrospect, so he wanted to change it up to be a bit more professional. So like we have right here in his earlier videos is him going beat by beat with the movie and all that. He didn't like that because he felt like at that point it was basically just him reading off a Wikipedia article of the plot rather than just giving his own interpretations of the plot and like his explanations of the issues and such. So as he went over time, he tried to change up his animated atrocities videos so they're a lot more, I guess you say, personal and professional than like his earlier works. So when you watch this video and then like one of his newer atrocities, you can see the night and day difference with how he chose to write his scripts. I get that. You usually don't want to make summary video essays, lol. Yeah.
To the bell tower. She's looking for the bell ringer, but because Quasi is Quasi, he goes into hiding. They eventually do start up a conversation. Speaking about their
I'm curious if this is gonna like give me a copyright notice on my stream just from merely playing this video with these clips. I'm hoping that's not the case, but if that turns out to be the situation, I might have to just delete this stream after this. We'll see if like YouTube notifies me of anything. It would be kind of funny though if like I get a copyright strike just from watching a guy's video and his contents. Like they didn't strike his thing, but they struck mine for simply playing his thing. I don't know. YouTube copyright stuff is weird. But yeah, like they could have done better with like the voice direction in this movie. Um, he's not a bad singer. It's just that what they gave him is not enough. That's why he sounds bad. It's like that for a lot of the Disney sequel slops.
is a liar. Good to know.
Ugh. Okay. Well, that was his video. Honestly, for a 12-year-old video, he's pretty spot on with this. Like, there's really not much you could say about this movie outside of what he already says. Oh my god. This movie really shouldn't exist. It shouldn't. Like, there's no reason why it has to exist. Let me actually look up. Let me look up where if we can find that video he said. Let's check out. Nostalgia Chick Disney sequels. Oh yeah, here it is. This is a re-upload from 2 years ago, but yeah, it exists, so let's check it out.
Really and truly crapping on movies made by people.
We're not gonna watch the whole thing because I already watched the video I wanted to watch for today. And to be honest, I'm probably gonna end stream after this because I did want to make it slightly shorter, and if we count the previous stream that I did, it would add up to around that time. So I think that'd be a good place. I beat the boss in Omori, so we'll save the castle aspects and the underground until for like the next stream. But let's just check out the segment that matters. Okay, you know what? Since it's it, I'm getting curious. Since I'm ending the stream, we might as well just watch this as the last one. If she brings up like a Disney sequel slop we haven't gotten to, then I'll just skip ahead because we'll get to it when we get to it. I would want like your experience of those movies to be like fresh, have a more well-rounded perspective, I guess. But if she talks about something we've already seen, then I'll keep it there for the sake of hearing her out. Ugh. That's fair, no spoilers, yeah. Okay, so let's do it.
People far more successful than anyone you've ever had anything to do with is not easy work, but sometimes you have to ask yourself, why do these things exist? Are they the product of a creative spark somewhere? Or are they a studio mandate farmed out to a third-rate production house? In 1994, The Return of Jafar was released on home video, starting a plague of direct-to-video sequels to all of the most popular Disney films and some of the less popular ones, and some... Either way, over 30 direct-to-video sequels, prequels, and midquels have been produced. These were all made by Disney Toon Studios, the production house responsible for Disney's animated television series. And let's get this straight. At best, they're okay. At worst, they're awful, and they only serve to make the studio look bad. Worse. As they were made by television people with television assets and budgets, they look like TV shows. They are paced like TV shows. They have the stakes of a TV episode. And I will be the first to concede that original thought probably was not allowed in most of these things because of the studio mandate to keep them as close to the source material as possible. Brand name recognition! And in light of the decline of 2D...
Yeah, she more or less said something similar to what I said earlier, like how the problem with the sequel slops is that they rehash aspects of the first movie. That could very well be a case of Disney was afraid that they didn't want these movies to... They didn't want the movies to branch out too far from the aspects of the first movie. So they probably had specific rules and regulations in there to make sure that, like, you had to keep some level of consistency with the first movies, but you can't deviate too far from it. Which is an issue that plays a lot of these sequel slops, and we've already seen numerous evidential cases of that. Scam's Adventure probably being the most offensive one of this, to be honest.
And the rise of Pixar and DreamWorks 3D animation, these things make the studio look like money-grubbing whores. Which they are. But if we look at these movies as art pieces rather than a quick cash-in made for stupid children who need to be babysat by Uncle Television for an hour, most of them just don't seem to get the original movies that they're based off of. Which is kind of impressive, because it's Disney. And I don't want to hear, what did you...
Speaking of, I wonder if that would appear on here. We'll find out soon enough, I guess.
Include this one's even worse. If I didn't include it, I didn't take as much issue with it. So here we go. This is my top 10 worst Disney sequels, or midquels, or 3-part never existed television series quels. Let's begin.
I'm gonna skip ahead of this intro because I don't know if the music is copyright material. So let's just let's get to number 10.
What a dog.
Lady and the Tramp was one of the more stylistic.
Oh! Yup! Number 10 is Scam's Adventure. I know it. It's gonna be Scam's Adventure. Awesome. We're starting off strong, guys. Good job. No, I put like Scam's Adventure in F tier because it is the worst offender of a movie that just rehashes everything about the first movie in a way and doesn't provide anything. It doesn't provide anything meaningful out of it. It had no reason to exist if it was just gonna be the first movie but on a new coat of paint. And that's pretty much the crux of a lot of these sequel slops.
Early Disney movies. For instance, it's filmed from a dog's perspective with a dog's understanding of the human world. In Lady and the Tramp 2, there are way too many human faces for this to take place in the same universe as the first one. Starting it off right, it's...
Yeah, I said it when we watched Scam's Adventure, but like, them choosing to not have the human faces, it was an artistic it was like, artistic integrity right there because they wanted the entire movie to be from the perspective of the dogs. So you don't see the humans as much because they're not that important to the dog, to like what they're trying to do with the movie. The reason that the ant shows up a lot in her face may be because she's an antagonist of the movie, so she sticks out a lot more to the dogs as much as like any other antagonist would. But like the Jim Deere and Darling, they're not antagonistic towards Lady, so they don't stick out as much. It also helps because like you're showing the kids who's like the bad guy in this situation, not like you don't need to see every human person. There are moments where you do see the human faces, but a lot of the time they're blocked off screen for a reason. Scam's Adventure takes that away by showing every single human face. And yeah, it just kind of it ruins the aesthetical idea that they had with the first movie. Very low for me too, like not as ass as Hunchback 2, but it's still uninspired, yeah.
Like they don't understand the basic stylistic choices of the original, namely that we rarely see a human's face, it's mostly feet. Here, the crotch dumplings will get confused if we don't show the faces, so let's just show the faces.
Darling, and with Jim dear, we've made a home from which we'll never roam.
Why would we when we're so contented here?
Yeah, alright, let's start this party off right with a big Hello Dolly style musical number. Lady and the Tramp wasn't a traditional musical like they did in the 90s. All of the songs were either sung by characters that were practically making cameos or the omnipotent great choir. Also, Lady and the Tramp are not...
Yeah, that's another thing that makes Lady and the Tramp distinct. It's not technically a musical. Not a musical in the traditional Disney sense. They do have songs, but like, they're not done by the main characters or anything. It's a pretty neat film.
In Lady and the Tramp 2 much. Instead, it focuses on the little rapscallion we see at the end of Lady and the Tramp 1, who, while he does accurately act like a puppy, is really annoying.
That's kid stuff.
Yeah, nothing makes me love a character more than when he goes, That's lame. Watch me do better. Fail, 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 fail. One of the nice things about earlier Disney movies is that they weren't so homogenous like they were in the 90s. Lady and the Tramp 2 takes a clever little idea of a movie and turns it into not another coming-of-age story. And that's
It's funny for her to say that, like, that trope or that cliche of the character saying, "Oh yeah, watch this," and then he like fails horribly. It's funny to me because The Fox and the Hound is in my top 10 favorite Disney movies of all time. Maybe like top 10 favorite animated movies in general, but like it does also suffer from that because I already said it in like our prior watch along for Scamp's Adventure, but like Todd Todd's interaction with his soon-to-be girlfriend was that type of situation as well. But it was funnier there because the owl who was helping him out was very aware of what was gonna happen and was begging God to make sure that he actually succeeded when he didn't. And it made him the laughingstock of the forest, which he already was the laughingstock because he was an outcast. I don't know, like I feel like it was better executed there than in Scamp's Adventure.
lame.
Ah! You gotta stop doing that! Oh, my ears. Okay, what do you got for number 9? Let's just skip ahead a bit. Oh, okay, so let's just skip ahead. Tarzan 2, we haven't watched that one yet. We'll get to it soon. I'm not gonna hear her out on this one yet. I'll probably come back to this video when we're done with the sequel slops, just so I can hear the rest of it. But we're not gonna see that. Skip ahead to a certain point.
Most of the time.
What do you got for us for like number 8? Oh yeah, yeah, that one wasn't actually on the sequel slot. I have to go back and check, but like Return to Neverland was it's a continuation of the first movie. Uh, of the first like Peter Pan movie. I made an argument that it is a lot better than I initially expected it to be because it actually does something a bit more with the cast, but admittedly it has been a long time, so I could be wrong about that. I'll have to I'll have to throw it on the list because it is technically part of the Disney sequel slops. But we'll get to it when we get to it. Whenever I decide it'd be a time to watch it. Let me just skip ahead again. What do you got for me this time?
This is Cinderella 2.
First, we have the tritest example of why
Putting Cinderella 2 in like the top 10 worst Disney sequels. I do want to hear her out. I want to hear what she has to say about this before I give my own opinion on this.
Number 7. It's hard to find a continuation to any story as aggressively worthless as Cinderella 2.
Oh, what above Tramp's Adventure? I don't know about that. Yeah, that's why I said I want to hear her out before I make my opinion on this.
First, we have the tritest example of why being a princess isn't all it's cracked up to be. Cinderella wants to be a royal without losing the common touch.
And why do they have to keep the palace so dark? And that awful dance. And those boring colors that all look the same.
And why do we have to eat these fine royal delicacies? I'd rather eat Oreos. And why do we have to wear shoes anyway? Why can't we just dance on the table?
Yeah, of course she revolutionizes everything instantly. Surprise.
Who opened those curtains?
This is all Princess Cinderella's doing.
What a lovely moon.
And that's only one of 3 tales in this movie. None of them were strong enough to be a movie unto itself.
The second one has to do with Jack Jack the Mouse wanting to be human, and is by far the hardest to suffer through. And the third has to do with one of the ugly stepsisters finding love in a common baker and having to stand up to her snobbish evil mother in the name of love.
Look, Anastasia, you just need a little help, that's all.
My, but she is forgiving for all those years of psychological and physical abuse.
You're wrong.
Marry for love and not money, damn it! And if you haven't learned that lesson by now, then by God, we'll make you watch every other Disney movie ever!
Oh, that number sequence is like a jump scare to me. I'm sorry about that, by the way. And I guess like the point she was making with this one is that like the plots of each episode is extremely basic. Like, I think that was like the only point she made with all three of them. And like, yeah, isn't that loud on my end? I don't know why it's like super loud for me, but like not that loud for you. But anyways, like, oh, it could be because like I lowered the volumes on your guys' end because I played Left 4 Dead 2, so I wanted to adjust the volumes for you guys. That's probably it. Cinderella 2 is really basic, but I think it works surprisingly well for what it does. I feel like what she's neglecting here is that the first movie's characters were very basic on principle, and they needed to be because the way that the movie works only works in that way. The fact that this movie actually tries to add more depth to the characters in ways that I honestly didn't notice until I looked into it again. Like, it's a lot more appreciative than, like, the other sequel slots we have. I would not put this on the top 10 worst ones, far from it, just because it actually does something with the characters that is actually a growth on their own identities rather than just keeping them the same or even taking away from it, like other ones do. But knowing Nostalgia Chick's opinions on things relating to, like, politics and things like that, I can kind of understand her issues with movies like these, but that's like an entirely different can of worms that I do not want to bring up. Suffice to say, it is the one number I don't really agree with on here. Like, I would probably slot that out with some other sequel slop on the list, but we have to go back to my tier list and think about what I would put here instead. Let me just jump ahead to see which one this is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's this movie. Let's get into it.
Number 6.
If you're over the age of 10, the
Yeah, that one was one of the less bad ones, in my opinion, yeah.
badness of a Disney sequel is usually in inverse
And I was shocked because I expected nothing. Yeah.
proportion to how much you liked the original. This is probably why I take such umbrage with The Enchanted Christmas, which we'll get to later. There's an exception to every rule, and here is mine.
Ursula's crazy sister!
The plot to keep Ariel.
Yeah. Yeah. This movie is so lazy. It is so, like, why? Just like Scamp's Adventure, this movie has no reason to exist. Yet somehow Scamp's Adventure surpasses this movie in terms of how bad it is. But then again, that's like an apples and oranges thing. I'm pretty sure if you made the argument, I would agree on either case. I just think Scamp's Adventure is a bigger offender of, like, rehashing the first movie so much that there is really nothing else the movie has going for it. And this movie sort of does the same thing as well. I love rip-off Timon and Pumbaa, yeah.
Ariel's daughter Melody out of the ocean involves some of the most contrived shit ever.
Oh, we've got to keep Melody away from her. Until Morgana is found, Melody can't.
The villain sucks so much, yeah. Not even Diet Ursula, because at least Diet Ursula would still be Ursula. Just worse. She's a fraud on every scale.
Can't go in the sea.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
Can't know the truth, can't, let her know what the hell is going on, that she might grow to defend herself or recognize a threat when she sees it. Nope. This might be the prime example of child having to learn the lesson their parents learned the first time around.
You deliberately disobeyed me. I never want you going out there again. Do you hear me? It's dangerous in the sea.
Oh, Ariel, you might be a hypocrite or something.
Ursula on a diet. Yeah.
You're just like your mother.
She sure is. In fact, it's just like the original. It's the same story, minus the prince. And also the stakes.
I'm no fan of the original, but I hate to say it, I like this better when it was called The Little Mermaid. And was about a mermaid.
Yeah. It pretty much is just that, the first movie. And I actually like The Little Mermaid, so like, it doesn't hit me as hard, but it is annoying that it exists in the first place. Disney be Disney. They'll never change, except please change. Please be better. What do we got here? Okay, I'm skipping ahead. This next one is The Fox and the Hound 2. But I'm saving that for a double feature when we get to it, because it is definitely a more important film for me than any other movie on this sequel slop list, outside of some exceptions, of course. Like, and I will make a point of it when we get to like that movie, like my perspective on how it represents Disney as a whole. So let's jump ahead to what the next one could be. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're at number 4 now. So this is the number that Mr. Renner brought up. The Hunchback 2. Let's hear what she has to say about this.
How Quasimodo got his groove.
Maybe someone could love me.
Some people take issue that Quasimodo didn't get the girl in the first one. I don't so much because... Come on. Also, it's closer to the book.
Damn. Damn. Okay. To put into perspective, because I really should have checked the voice acting role or voice cast role for this. This kid is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. This kid would eventually grow up to be Sora. And like, if you want my perspective on this, Haley Joel Osment is not the best actor. Even as Sora, he kind of sucks at his job. Like, this is an issue with Kingdom Hearts, not really with like his acting roles, but that's like a whole other thing. But yeah, it's his acting chops. It's consistent all the way through. But this was definitely like his worst role ever. Yeah.
Takes more than looking to really see.
You're a hunchback!
Yeah, it is kind of annoying how they kept reaffirming the point, like the lesson that you learned from the first movie here. Like, they didn't do it this obvious in the first movie, and not as much as they do here. Okay, so now we are at the moment of truth. Until I watch the other movies on the list, I can't really give my criticism of the rest of them until we get to it. But putting Cinderella 2 above like Scamp's Adventure is a choice of all time. But everything else I can sort of abide with because, to be honest, that's just kind of the nature of sequel slops. But putting Hunchback 2 as number 4, that is definitely a decision of all time. Let's see where we go from here. What do we got for number 3? Okay, yeah, I'll let this play out. We've seen this one.
Number 3.
I've heard criticism against the original Beauty and the Beast and how it's bad because it's all about one poor girl's Stockholm Syndrome, which I don't think is fair because A, she only comes around to him once he stops being a dick, and B, when he lets her go, she leaves. Probably wouldn't have come back except for, impending doom.
It's the Christmas miracle of Stockholm Syndrome.
I, for one, think a little Christmas
Yeah, that's more or less a condensed version of my. That's a condensed version of like my criticisms about people's perspectives of the first movie. But anyway, so putting Enchanted Christmas above like Notre Dame 2, fake Forte fan. Putting Enchanted Christmas above all these other movies is a choice. Like I think you're kind of insane for putting it above or putting it below everything else because like it's a boring ass movie, but it's not the worst thing in the world compared to what we've seen so far. I don't know. Forte's existence is funny enough that he kind of just carries my interest in the movie. You can't really say that about some of the other guys. Like, do you really think Buster from Scam's Adventure is more interesting than Forte? Like, tell me with a straight face, please. I'm dying to know. But anyways,
Dear, we're doing some good. Everyone needs someone. He must need someone too.
He's mopey and emo, and I can change him. Oh yay, and another foppish sissy.
Forte alone puts us in the top half of Disney sequel slops. Yeah. Also, like, it's boring because it's the same Christmas type plot we've seen before. It's not that surprising.
Villain with a big gay crush on the Beast.
The music helps. Your music is the only thing that helps me forget.
Said big gay crush being his primary motivation.
I pretty much already reviewed this POS, so I'll try not to repeat myself too much.
It contains one of the worst songs in recent memory.
I will if somebody archived it, I would probably look for that video because I am kind of curious her complete thoughts on this movie. Just morbid curiosity, nothing else.
Takes the wildest heart and makes it tame. If you're turned on, then just turn off.
It has some of the worst jokes.
Do you know what day it is? Well, it's not.
I like this movie more the more worse sequels we watch. It really does just paint a perspective on what we've seen before. Not even like mainline Disney movies, just sequel slops in general. It's not good, but there are far worse, yeah.
Tuesday.
In any Disney movie, and oh, Beast, what have they done to you?
I fell and I landed on on the ice.
You're an asshole!
But hopefully at least this one will be washed away by the sands of time.
No, Disney will be Disney. Like, they're gonna put out their sequel slops if they can make money off of it. That is just that is the very nature of Disney as a whole. They got rid of Mars Needs Bombs for a while, but they brought it back for Disney Plus. They'll do anything if it can like maintain. They'll do anything if it can get them the profits. That's all they care about. Also, yeah, the problems with Beast and the Enchanted Christmas, it's bad, but it's not Belle's Magical World bad, because the Beast is far worse there than he is in Enchanted Christmas. But then again, if you watch Enchanted Christmas, you have like the template of how bad Belle's Magical World is gonna be.
No.
When you wish upon a star.
Number 2. It's not like television writers can't.
Alright, hold on. I didn't check ahead. No, I can't show that one. I can't show number 2 because we haven't seen it. It's not on the like direct to videos list that I used IMDb for, so I am gonna have to come back to it, but it is something we should watch at some point. We're gonna skip ahead to number 1 and see if it's Belle's Magical World. It is. I only saw one frame, but that's all I needed to know.
Number 1. It's hard to articulate what about this one makes it so awful. But when you really get down to it and step back, it's that every story needs a conflict.
With Beauty and the Beast, the only real conflict that could...
You know, completely valid, yeah. Also, like, she is right. See, the thing that makes stories the way they are is that you need a conflict, a reasoning for why the protagonist will do the things that they do in the story. Because if you don't have that reason, then there's no purpose to the story. It has no reason to exist. Um, Putting Enchanted Christmas or Magical World in a full skizzle take, yeah. So like, conflict doesn't necessarily have to be like the bad guy versus the good guy. It can be like any type of conflict. That's why the word is there. As long as you can make the conflict of your story intriguing to the audience or the readers, you'll have something to work with. Lady and the Tramp doesn't have a villain, but it has conflicts in it. Conflicts that pushes the narrative forward, and it works for that one because of what they're trying to do with the movie. It's not like Simba having to fight Scar and all that. It's a very simple film, but it works for what it needs to be. Um, Belle's Magical World conflicts, every single episode is literally the most bare bones thing of all time. That, to be honest, I'm not even surprised that like they struggle to think of conflicts here because, again, what the hell could you possibly do with Beauty and the Beast to make like a TV series that's episodic and it has to take place between the events of the movie or the first movie? Like, what the hell could you possibly come up with that would stretch that long of a time? Whose idea was it to consider the possibility of making this a TV series? All the conflict was so contrived and shit. Yeah. Like, I am honestly kind of blessed that they never went through with this idea to make it a TV series, but at the same time, the fact that somebody thought this would be a good idea is like, why? Why did you think that would be a good idea in the first place? What went through your mind to assume that that would be the case? That's something at least Cinderella 2 did, as it created pretty natural conflicts, yeah. It's Belle's Magical World just has nothing. It just has nothing to it at all. Even down to its writing is virtually nothing. It has no reason to exist. I say that for for a lot of the bad sequel stuff, but this one really just takes the cake. I would not be surprised if people said this movie was worse than Notre Dame 2, because I can totally understand that. It is definitely like bottom 3 movies of all time, and I call this a movie lightly because it barely constitutes as such.
Could exist while keeping the story intact was, well, the one that happened. Theirs was a delicate situation. They can't keep getting mad at each other over stupid misunderstandings. And in the original movie, they don't.
If you'd hold still, it wouldn't hurt as much.
Well, if you hadn't have run away, this wouldn't have happened.
This stands in some contrast to flying in a rage over a baby bird.
I found a bird today, and
You found a what?
Like Atlantis 2, this one's a 3-parter. One that doesn't bother trying to tie itself together by the book thing or the whatever thing. 2 of these 3.
Again, we'll get to Atlantis 2 when we get through the initial list of the direct-to-video sequels. Because it's not on the list, but it is a direct-to-video thing, so we will get to that eventually, just not right now. You found a what? So, we need to isolate that Beast clip and then just use it whenever somebody makes a stupid reference to something online. It'll be the "say that again" line, but for Disney movies. But anyways.
Are about Belle wants something, the Beast is a dick, Belle tries to change him, the Beast is a dick more, the Beast realizes he's wrong, everything's okay. It's less Beauty and the Beast and
Holy heckin' meme chungus dogs.
more like the abusive odd couple.
Also, like, the fact that this movie, quote unquote, has, like, it's got errors. It's got lots of errors in this thing. And the pilot episode is the most damning one, because you forgot to color in Lumiere, and that one frame of an image with the like Lumiere and Cosgrove and all of them is like the most cursed thing of all time. Like, why? What happened? Where did everything go wrong? Except I know what the answer to that question. Also, this clip.
Bill's magical.
I'm just glad that we all are familiar with that. I'll never apologize being the one scene that is most memorable from this pile of trash. I'm glad we are all in universal agreement of this.
Prison. Interesting that when the Beast acts like an asshole like this, it always ends up fine despite him learning the same lesson over and over.
Every time I try this with a damsel, it never pans out.
Wow, I sure do have a bad...
Okay, so like for the conflicts to work in Belle's magical world, you had to regress Beast down to like a very basic character. And you have to make it so that Beast always learns a lesson at the end of the episode, which he then forgets about in the next episode for a new conflict to arise. Like you can't make it work for a whole season, let alone 3 episodes. Not to mention that it completely ruins Beast's character. But we'll get to that. I mean, no, we won't get to it. I don't want to talk about that movie anymore. But like, yeah. Also, yeah, the weird thing where like Channel Awesome did skits. Remember the skits? Remember when people thought it was funny to do skits in like old YouTube videos? Belle's Magical World is probably the objective lowest quality of the sequel, Slops. Yeah, I just hate Notre Dame 2 because it offends me on a more personal level because of how much it gets wrong from the initial film. Like, again, going from a 9.5 out of 10 movie to a 1 out of 10 is the worst thing you could ever do. Like, it is just so wrong on every aspect. Back 2 is a bit more frustratingly bad as it's an ununified movie, but Belle's just so bad, bro. Yeah. Like I said, I got if whatever movie you think is the worst one, I honestly can't even argue with you because like yeah, like I can agree with it. They're both equally terrible for different reasons. And of course how it follows up the OG, yeah.
Disposition, I think I need to be fixed.
You know, this didn't work the first 5 times you did this, nostalgia chick. I need to go to the bathroom.
Inanimate object.
They're both 1 out of 10's easy, yeah.
Do you want me to go to the bathroom, Dad?
Now where's my Blu-ray release?
It's rare when you come across something so awful that you have a hard time explaining why it's bad, but there are times such as these when analyzing it makes you dumber.
Entertainment is the only product in our kids' lives where parents will go, so what if it's crappy? It's just for my children. You don't say that about anything else in their lives. What? It's just a car seat. So what if the belt barely works? What? It's just food.
And you know why that is? Is it because you want your kids or yourselves to be enriched? No, it's because kids are stupid, and you don't care what they watch, and you just want them to shut up.
So you can blame Disney for going crazy with direct-to-video shit, but you know what? It's your fault, parents, for buying shitty, awful movies for your kids based on the standards your company used to uphold. Oh wait, you don't care, because kids are stupid, and they want the same shit over and over, and you're okay with them watching shitty movies.
But at least the plague of sequels has finally ended.
It's so funny because like I say the same thing about Pokemon. You guys don't care about the quality of the games or all that. You just want the next game to come around so that way you can get your immediate satisfactions. But yeah, like being more serious, that's really why a lot of these direct-to-video stuff exists. That's why Frozen 2 exists. That's why Moana 2 exists. That's why all these sequels exist, because you just want movies to put on for your kids so they can shut up while you do your own thing. You don't care what they watch. You could put on the most mindless slop possible, and as long as it keeps them quiet for 2 hours, that's all that matters. Oh no. Speaking of, it looks like they're trying on the new Pokemon actually. There are still aspects of the clips. I mean, I've seen like images of the game. Um, there are there's areas where it still looks not right. Like, it's a step up from Scarlet and Violet, that's for sure. But like, there are still areas that I feel like could have been done better. They could still fix it though. Like, arguably, they could patch out the kinks and then have it ready by the time November hits. It can still look better if they put in the effort, but like it's a step up. But I will say like them doing the bare minimum of improvements is like, yeah, it's celebratory, but like um, I'm not that lenient with them about this. Like, again, you're still comparing it to like the other games on like the Switch and Switch 2. Pokemon is still leagues behind in terms of what they can get, in terms of what they're able to do with them. They still have a ways to go with this, and I do want to like see an eventual point where they actually do put out a game that can rival like other Nintendo games in terms of their quality and stature. We just haven't reached that point yet. Not to mention that like on an artistic standpoint it's better, but like the other half of why I don't play the Pokemon games is because the gameplay stuff is puts me off so much. Um, and that's like a core issue with the games that's never gonna be fixed because of the idea that every game needs to be easy. Like, there are many things they could do with Pokemon now that can definitely revolutionize itself in like ways that can make itself stand out more, but it doesn't do that. Game Freak, the Pokemon company, they still take the safe route with the games. They don't really they don't really innovate as much as they should in areas that matters. And the end result is a bunch of games that I honestly like. Even if the graphics were at their best, I would play the games, I would get an experience, and then I'll just kind of leave it behind. It won't stick out to me as much as other RPGs do nowadays. Maybe if I was younger and I was like at the point where I was still in my Pokemon craze, it would be the greatest thing of all time. But now that I'm reaching 30 years old here, um, I want to put my admiration towards things that actually do like impress me on like a lot of scales, and something that at least gives me some level of entertainment. I don't know. I guess you would say my priorities and what I consider as like good games and all that has shifted over the years. That I don't think I would enjoy modern Pokemon as much as other people do. Make of that information what you will, but that's kind of where my stance is with the series as now. Like, it is good that they're improving in the graphics department, but like, it's still not going to be in my top 10 favorite games, let alone like top 20 and such. There are just other RPGs that I have a bigger interest in, let alone like other games in general. I get that I much prefer other JRPGs. I'm still intrigued by new Pokemon games at the very least, even just for seeing the meta and shit. Yeah, the power creeping in the PvP stuff is a whole other issue. But anyways, I don't agree with a bit of Nostalgia Chick's point of views on this video, but I do like a lot of what she said is fair. It's understandable. Like, I don't have any real issues outside of Cinderella 2 being lower than Scam's Adventure. I feel like Cinderella 2 shouldn't even be on the list. Okay, but that's just funny as fuck. Non-functional meta is hilarious. Yeah, it can be. And even then, it's not like I really delve into PvP anymore. Because that's that's a huge time sink for something I don't care about that much. Um, in other Pokemon news. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness is out. No, it's out in the NSO, so I'm looking forward to that. I mostly just watch PvP for the memes. I watch Pimp Knights videos because they're funny. That's as far as my Pokemon PvP content goes. But I will say, before I go to my ending stuff, I'm curious how many people are gonna want to buy the new Pokemon games and buy the Switch 2 as a whole, because I said it before, but the Switch 2 it's in a bad place in terms of getting people to buy the system and the games on it. It needs a hook to get people to actually buy the systems and buy the games on it. And I said that Pokemon Gen 10 is the ride or die of people's interest in the Switch 2. If the games come out and they cost like $80 a piece and it doesn't sell as well as other games or even like the system itself because the pricing is too steep for them to buy, then I think that's it. Like, Pokemon is the biggest seller that they have for these systems, and if it can't garner that much money compared to its other games on Switch 2, what does that say about the rest of the games that comes out for the system? I don't think they'd be able to recover from that type of loss. Um, in my case, it also serves another means because let's say that the games cost $80 and it sells like hotcakes, and then like it makes the Switch 2 the biggest selling system of all time and all that. It validates my claim that like to all the people who complain about games being expensive, you went out and bought Pokemon for $80. You have no excuse to not buy Mario Kart World for that price. You have no excuse to not buy Mario Tennis for $70. Like, any arguments you can make about the price being too high goes out the window the second you invest in an $80 game. Because you spent the longest time arguing against this. It doesn't matter what the item is. Your point was that it was too expensive. And if you buy Pokemon for $80, then that's it. You've sacrificed any points you could make about that argument of it's too expensive. And any opportunity a person can have to argue that the future games that Nintendo puts out is too expensive, it's completely null. Because people bought the game for $80. If there's a bigger hypocrite than I've ever seen in my life, it's gamers. Did the Pokemon games on Switch do particularly amazing? I can't remember. Um, Let me actually look it up. Let's see here. Uh, Nintendo Switch games sales numbers. It's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for games. Okay, here we go. Hang on, let me put it on stream. Oh, I know it is on stream. I'm stupid. I thought I went to like the ending bit, but here we go. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the highest selling game on the Switch right now with 70 million copies sold. Which makes sense because that was like a launch title game. And it had like DLC content and everything, so yeah. Animal Crossing only sold 49 million because of COVID. That was literally it. If it wasn't for COVID, this game wouldn't have sold nearly as much. Uh, Pokemon Sword and Shield collectively sold 28 million copies, and Scarlet and Violet collectively sold 27 million copies. Which, comparative to the other games on here, that's pretty big. The Let's Go game sold 15 million. The Diamond Pro remake sold 15 million. Legends Arceus sold 14 million. Legends ZA sold 8 million on Switch 1. Or rather, I don't know if it's like counting 8 million on Switch 1 or if that's both Switch 1 and Switch 2, but like Pokemon Legends ZA is the lowest selling Pokemon game on the system. So like to put it into perspective, Sword and Shield made almost 30 million copies in sales. And Legends VA couldn't even reach 10k or 10 million. So yeah, like that's a very damning number right there. That's why I want to see like how well the new Pokemon games do on Switch 2 because there's no way it's a Switch 1 exclusive. It's gonna be a Switch 2 exclusive. Like it's gonna be Switch 2. There's no two ways around it. And we're gonna see how well the sales do there. It'll probably do decently well like Legends EA, but without the Switch 1 backing it up. We're gonna see how well it does. Alright, but I think that is it for now. It's a good place to stop. We're at the 3 hour mark, counting the previous stream, 4 hours. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's go ahead and put up the ending soon thing. So, thank you guys for watching the stream. I didn't make that much progress with Omori in retrospect, but I was able to at least get to the castle segment, so there is that. And next time, we will do more of Omori. We'll do Omori stuff. It's gonna be awesome. I think I'm just gonna chill out in VC on my Discord server. PK, if you're still there, I do want to ask if you're interested in continuing the Hex tonight, or if you're gonna be busy with other things. And if so, that's fine. It's all good. But if you're not busy, then that'll be nice too. You do have to like do specific achievement stuff, so that's gonna take a while, which is probably gonna make up the whole stream if I'm honest. But progress is progress. I'm sure it'll be fine. But enough stalling for now. I'm gonna sign off, and I will see you all next week when I decide to continue Omori. Or any day where I get a chance to get back to streaming. So have a good rest of your week. Take it easy. Don't let work get in the way of anything. Just you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Nothing's gonna happen. or everything will work out. It always does. So I need to see what I'm doing tonight. Split between a few things. That's understandable. I'll get back to you then if you do end up being free or not. So take care, PK, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.